It's been nearly a week since LeBron James announced he was leaving Cleveland and headed to Miami.
Tens of thousands of people have been logging on to Newsnet5.com since this morning to read sports director Andy Baskin's blog about covering LeBron for the past 10 years. Andy, so far 23,000 page views today, and that blog was posted about 7:30 this morning. So obviously what you have written is hitting a nerve.
It's been a very interesting day for me. The goal of the blog was just to talk about, for lack of a better term, what I've witnessed over the last decade when it comes to covering LeBron James. It was not to rip LeBron James. It was more to rip myself because I was making excuses at every turn. It places an unrealistic goal to place a human being in a godlike status. And most of the stories, if you read it, you'll have already known them because they've happened before your eyes. The blog deals with my own reaction to the facts. It's not a story. It's not an article. It is where we are today in I don't know if you want to say journalism or how you want to say it. It is a blog.
I want to read just a little section of it here, and this was about the Decision special, and you wrote, on the outside it looked like a big ratings ploy, which is questionable from a journalistic point of view and brilliant from a ratings point of view. Not only will I never trust LeBron James, I will have trouble trusting ESPN again.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't a lot of people who are holding ESPN responsible for this, but when I say I don't trust LeBron James, it is strictly from the Decision, and because it was a man-made, manufactured thing that he knew about the drive, he knew about the fumble, and now he put Cleveland in a position to know about the Decision. And so if you know the history and you know what you're doing, it's hard to trust someone when you go back to that circumstance.
Great perspective. You've got a lot of reaction on Facebook
a ton of it. My Facebook page has been blowing up. Most of it positive, including Lisa Orris Sands, who writes, Andy, I thought this was a well thought out piece. Clearly more to the story, more than anyone wanted to think. Then there's this from Newsnet 5. Peter writes, LBJ left after fulfilling his contract. He wants a championship and isn't going to find it in Cleveland. Please get over it. And I think, a lot of people just want to get over the story as well.
A lot of people want to move on.
Yeah, and I think so. I think the time to bring the story back up is when Miami comes back here to play Cleveland, or when the Cavaliers go down to Miami. I shouldn't say we, because I haven't dribbled a basketball in years. But
great synopsis of the timeline, though, from the beginning of our coverage of him until now. Yeah,
it's just a lot of the people in the media went like this, and I'm going to be totally honest. It was Mike Trevisano, who's a guy on TAM, who has said over and over and over, he's not been a big proponent of LeBron James. And as I was driving in yesterday, and I had talked to various people over the last week, it kind of tripped me and made me think, you know what? Mike was right, and then it set me into this 3,000-word essay we call a blog.
Well, and definitely a blog that a lot of people are talking about,
yes.
which is good.
Thanks,
Thank
Andy.
you, Andy.